Hello, and welcome to Unity of Fredericksburg. My name is Linda, and I'm pleased to welcome all of you to the Unity of Fredericksburg weekly online gathering. At Unity of Fredericksburg, we are advancing the movement of spiritual awakening and transformation through unity, a positive path for spiritual living. For those of you watching on YouTube, live or later, be sure to say hi in the chat thread, like this video, and subscribe to the Unity of Fredericksburg YouTube channel. If you were able to attend live, we encourage you to join us in the Zoom community room for the full Sunday morning experience, including music, prayer, and connection. Send an email to info@uofva.org to receive the Zoom link. And for everyone local to Central Virginia, Unity of Fredericksburg offers a variety of fun and enriching in-person gatherings every month. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter at uofva.org for all the details. Our message today comes from our minister, Reverend Cheryl Farr. And now here's the Reverend Cheryl. Sorry.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you. And hello, everyone. So glad to see folks here in the Zoom room. And I know there are plenty of people watching on YouTube live or later. So here we are in September 2023. And I'm not sure how it got to be September, but I'm happy about it. So here in 2023 at Unity of Fredericksburg, we've kind of had an ongoing theme of looking at the foundations of unity. And our theme for September is prayer, because September is the month when Unity has World Day of Prayer. And that will take place from sundown on September 13th through sundown on September 14th. Today, we are getting started talking about prayer. And I thought today, how about we start with a couple of jokes? Are you ready? Get your funny bones warmed up, okay? So a man is praying in church and he looks up to heaven and says, God, could you answer a question for me? Of course, my son, says God. What would you like to know? God, what is 1,000,000 years to you? Well, says God, 1,000,000 years to me is like a second to you. Says the man, I guess I understand. So what is $1,000,000 to you then? My son, God says, $1,000,000 to me is like a penny to you. Says the man. He goes back to praying, but after a little while, he looks up again. God, he asks, can I have a penny? Sure, says God. Just give me a second. So I hear you laughing out there. I can hear you laughing. I've got a couple other little jokes here. So when you were little, for those of you who went to church, did you ever kind of misunderstand the words of the prayers or the songs that were being sung? I know I did in very creative ways. So here's an example of a 4-year-old praying. Doing the Lord's Prayer. So on earth as it is in heaven, and forgive us our trash baskets as we forgive those who put trash in our baskets. So I love it. I've never heard that one, but I've certainly heard plenty of creative interpretations of different sections of prayer. I have one more joke for you. Are your funny bones warmed up yet? This is a short riddle. What do noodles say when they finish praying? Ramen. Ramen. All right. I don't care if you guys are laughing at all. I'm having a good time. So, all right. So there are lots of different ways to pray, aren't there? And I've got 3 main points that I'm going to make today. First, prayer is easy. Second, all prayer is good prayer. And third, I'll give you some tips from Unity, because Unity provides a really simple 5-step prayer method. And we know all of those things. And all of this is so that we can realize that we can weave prayer in throughout our day, all through our day, in the smallest of moments and with ease. So, all right, let's get started on this. So my first point is prayer is easy, my friends. There's no need to feel intimidated about it. as if it has to be done in a certain way and with a certain posture, and we have to do it right or anything like that. Many of us grew up learning specific approaches. We might have learned prayers by rote, and like if we got the words wrong, it was a problem, or it might have, we might have learned methods where it had to be done in a certain way, or kneeling or standing or whatever. Basically, in unity, the answer is do it your way. Do whatever it is that works for you. Now, one thing we do mention in unity frequently is our very thoughts are prayers. So our thoughts and our feelings, our attitudes have energy, and that's the same energy that we use when we're praying. So there's a well-known New Thoughts song that I'm sure many of you have heard. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. So no matter what you're doing, your thoughts, your feelings have that energy. So in fact, you don't have to do anything in particular to be praying. You just kind of focus and give some beneficial energy to your thoughts and feelings. Now, you can hear that catch coming, right? Because if all of our thoughts are prayers, then sometimes we're not thinking nice things, right? So that's where our challenge is in unity, is to observe the quality of your thoughts. The next line in the little song, our thoughts are prayers, our thoughts are prayers, listen to what you're saying. So prayer is easy. We're doing it all the time. We just want to watch the quality of the thoughts and our energy, and realize that prayer doesn't have to be like a special separate event tied to a particular ritual. It doesn't have to take a long time. In fact, my favorite way to pray is just with a breath, a focused breath, shifting my attention to the energy of all that is and away from whatever it is that might be bothering me out in front of me. So, and of course, we have these reminders to work on the quality of our thoughts so that we can improve the quality of our prayers. So that was my first point. Prayer is easy. My second point is all prayer is good prayer. So it doesn't matter what religion or method or language. In unity, we recognize the energy behind the prayer, the energy of the intention behind the prayer, and we don't worry so much about how it's being delivered. Now, I bet that you can think of some prayer that you've heard that doesn't feel good to you. Rituals that don't feel comfortable, references in prayer to things that aren't a part of your belief system. But I encourage you to just be at ease with that. It's okay. It's okay. We in unity, again, recognize the energy behind it. Even if the prayer is very vehemently wanting to say, save someone from the devil and from going to hell, and these are not things that you resonate with, just think about the intention behind it. The intention behind it is caring about someone and wanting them to be safe and secure and happy. So just focus on that energy behind, not the part that's coming out of someone's mouth. Now, I can understand how we can feel kind of defensive or protective when we hear that kind of prayer. So a personal example for me would be when my oldest child, when she was only 6 years old, and she had some very serious medical issues and was having brain surgery and radiation and all of these things. And I was feeling protective about when people say, well, I'll pray for her. And part of me was like, well, how are you going to pray? What are you going to be saying? Because I didn't want any kind of funky prayer energy coming around my child. I wanted to like keep it all away. I wanted to stay in the zone of gratitude and all those things. But so I had to help myself to realize that it's just about the energy. It doesn't matter what the words are or how it's delivered. And we can just focus on those intentions. Our intentions, again, our thoughts and feelings have energy, and the universe responds to that energy. Doesn't matter the specific delivery. So for your own prayer, especially when you are in a crisis, you might find yourself flipping back to, say, a kind of prayer that you learned as a child. You might find yourself flipping out of how you have, kind of worked with yourself to be in an awareness of oneness. And you might all of a sudden in a crisis find yourself praying to an outer God, please help me. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's all right. Again, it's fine for us to recognize in our human reactiveness to what's going on, to dealing with what's in front of us. It's okay. It's all right. Again, it's that energy, and it's natural for us to, in a crisis, to want to kind of reach out into the universe to seek beneficial support and supportive energy. And if that comes in kind of an old style prayer that you haven't used in a long time, don't worry about it. Don't be like schooling yourself about your prayer when you're in the middle of dealing with a crisis of some sort. So it's okay. Just let it happen however it is. And remember, all prayer is good prayer. So since prayer is easy and all prayer is good prayer, does Unity have some suggestions for how you can do prayer? Well, of course, Unity does have suggestions, and it's a fairly loose structure of suggestions that you can fit in any rituals and things that that you find enjoyable into the process. It's a 5-step prayer process. I do want to note that how I'm presenting it today mostly has to do with individual prayer. So, and then for those of you who lead prayer with others, there are kind of other ways to go about it when you're leading prayer with others. And I'll mention that a little bit towards the end, but right now we're just kind of focusing on our own prayer. And this gives you some guidance for, or like some suggestions of how you might do that. So what we suggest is that before you kind of start your prayer time, however it is that you do it, you review your prayer concerns before you start. So you're looking at what concerns are, of with others, what's going on in the world, what things you want to be holding in prayer, and you kind of spend some time reflecting on that before you start your prayer time. You might want to work with some of the tools that Unity suggests, like creating denials and affirmations. We've talked about those during the summer, and set some intentions. So you're kind of setting the energy around your prayer time of what kind of energy you want to see around particular concerns. And then step 1 of Unity prayer is relaxation. Sounds pretty simple, right? We as humans live in these bodies. And I don't know if you've noticed, but your body can get pretty stressed out by stress, whatever it is you're going in. You might be holding it in your jaw or in your neck or in your shoulders or in your hands or in your back, whatever it is. So the first step that Unity suggests in prayer is to address the body, to relax. So often this step, if I'm leading prayer, you'll notice that this step just says, take a deep breath. And again, back to prayer is easy, that if you're busy and you're in the middle of your day and you're feeling yourself stressed, that breath itself can be a prayer. And it can be this kind of preparations phase where you are just relaxing the body. So you depending on what you like, you could take that further into some form of stretching or yoga or some kind of ritual that you might have that you enjoy, of lighting candles or whatever it is that you like. So right now, just kind of imagine yourself getting ready for some prayer time, and just take a breath right here and just relax the body. All right, now we're ready for step 2. Step 2 is called concentration. So we've just worked with our body. Now we're going to be working with our brain. So we know that our brains are busy operating our human lives all through the day. And this step is designed to quiet the mind, give the busy brain something to concentrate on so that it can stop with the constant chatter about what's for lunch and how long it'll take to get to places, and just quiet a bit. So there are lots of different ways that you can do this. You can choose something to gaze upon. So if you'd like to look at a candle or something pretty you have in your room, or I like to, when I can, just be gazing out a window. You might choose something that's auditory. So one of my favorite things for my meditation time is I've got headphones on and I'm using the app called Insight Timer, and I'm choosing some repetitive, pleasant background noise to kind of give me something to focus on. Some people like to use a mantra, so something that you repeat quietly in your mind or out loud that helps you align with the energy of source. And some people, I always like to include this because we often think of prayer as kind of a quiet, sitting still kind of thing, but there are a lot of people who do their best praying while they're moving. So that repetitive movement of walking, swimming, doing chores around the house, like washing dishes by hand or knitting, something like that. I have a friend who does woodworking. He's a carpenter, and he says some of his best prayer time is just sanding and finishing wood. So it can be a repetitive physical movement if that is what works for you, whatever it is that helps you quiet the mind and kind of open the heart space. So just giving our brain some pause from its busyness. So just right now, imagine yourself maybe trying something new in the way of concentration or whatever your favorite thing, just doing the, just focus your mind on whatever that is that you like to do or something you'd like to try as far as that moment of quieting the mind. All right. Step 3 in Unity's prayer method, right there in the middle, we've got 2 preparation steps, and then right there in the middle is meditation. And those of you who have been here before and stay here for the full service know that we always have a time for prayer and we always have a time for meditation. So Unity talks a lot about spending time in the silence, or I like to say in the stillness. This is a central point to Unity prayer. It's not a time for rituals or words or anything. It's a time for being rather than doing. Now that's okay as far as if your style is to be in movement, that's okay. But it's like just being in being, not in doing. Just sit or just be in the silence for as long as feels comfortable. Now, don't judge yourself about how long you're able to do this. Just allow yourself to relax in the stillness. Now, we know that our brains are going to be firing in the background. And before you know it, when you thought you were sitting in the stillness, all of a sudden you're working the grocery list, or you're thinking about that discussion you had with somebody that you'd like to do over, or whatever it is. So that's where you have those, you can return to those first 2 steps of take a breath, focus again on whatever your concentration point is, and just come back to the stillness. And for those of you who like the teachings of Jesus and the words of Jesus, peace, be still. So just take a moment right now, take a breath, and just imagine that space of stillness and silence. What a blessing that is that you can give yourself in the middle of your busy day. I've come more and more to think of my time of meditation and my spiritual practice as like a gift I give myself. That, the phone ringer is off, and it's just me, and I have some quiet time, and isn't that wonderful? All right. Following that third step of meditation, step 4 is called realization. So you think back to the preparation you did before your prayer time, where you were looking at your prayer list, you were working on some affirmations, you were setting intentions. It's like that's sort of like the talking to the universe part. And the realization step right here is the listening moment. Coming out of the stillness and the silence and opening up all of your senses to listening to spirit, allowing spirit that time to respond. You've put energy out into the universe, allow the response to come to you. Be in, as you come back to the here and now from your little meditation time, open your perceptions and allow spirit to speak through the feelings and the thoughts that come forth, and affirm that all aspects of divine mind are available to you here and now in any of your circumstances. And I also suggest, last year we did once a month, we did one of the 12 powers. So the 12 powers are great things to think of in this time to align yourself with aspects of the divine around all of your concerns. So just take a moment right now and move into that listening space. Just feel that energy that's always present. So much of the time when we are interacting with each other, we're actually just, kind of focusing on what we're going to say next, and we're all about talking. This can happen in our prayer life too, where we're praying. We're just praying ourselves, so much praying, but we're not taking that time to listen. So that's what that realization point is. And the 5th step in the Unity 5-step prayer process is appreciation. So you may have noticed in Unity prayer, we always close in gratitude. So you seal your process of prayer, however it is you do it, with the activity of being grateful, knowing that as you focus on being grateful around whatever the prayer concerns are or celebrations, that you're programming your brain to go out and look for more things to be grateful for. So just take a moment right now and feel that warmth of gratitude around whatever concerns that you might have. Just feel that warmth and that radiating goodness of gratitude. So all of this whole process is quite simple. Now, I'm not telling you have to do a certain posture. I'm not telling you have to do certain words. This is a process that you can use what you like and fit it in to this process of relaxation, concentration, meditation, realization, and appreciation. So I did say before we finish up, I would give you a little follow-up for those when you're leading prayer with others. When it comes to the meditation part, you can do a little bit of quiet time. And rather than kind of doing the preparation around issues ahead of time, you kind of do it in the middle with others. So you do the relaxation, concentration, and then you can speak aloud as you're leading prayer with others. So that's just a really quick little note on that. We could spend a whole time on that, and maybe we will in the future sometime. But for right now, for today, prayer is easy, right? You can just do it with one breath. You can do it throughout your day. It doesn't have to be a big separate time, doesn't have to take a long time. You can be praying moment by moment through your whole day. Remember, all prayer is good prayer. It's about the energy behind the prayer itself. It's about the intention. And we've got these wonderful 5 steps from Unity. So what we're going to do right now is practice that together as we move into meditation. So let's start by taking a few deep breaths right here, right now. Just relaxing into our seats. Bring your attention, your concentration to the breath itself, and feel the breath moving in and out of the body. And as you do that, let's work on quieting the mind, opening the heart space, feeling the energy of divine love and divine wisdom right here, right now. Feeling the energy of the other 12 powers, as we like to call them in Unity: strength, release, imagination, understanding, order, faith, life, love. Just feel all of that fully present right here, right now. Then together, let us move into a few moments in the stillness right now. And as we bring our attention back to this moment, back to the body, we welcome any inspiration that comes forth. We welcome the omnipresent energy of divine love that is present here and now, present in every circumstance. And we are grateful, grateful for the opportunity to practice these 5 steps, to practice them together, to have a time to come together in spiritual celebration. So I'd like to close with an affirmation. I like to put my hand right on my heart. And here's the affirmation, folks. Prayer is easy. Prayer is joyful. And I am grateful. So repeat that with me, friends. Prayer is easy. Prayer is joyful. And I am grateful. And I'm going to say it one more time. Prayer is easy. Prayer is joyful. And I am grateful. So it is, my friends. Until next time, be well. And I am going to turn it over to my friend Linda. And I see her getting ready there.
Hi. Yep. Thanks for watching the weekly broadcast from Unity of Fredericksburg. Visit our website, uofva.org, to learn more about our mission of spiritual awakening and transformation, and support our ministry with your financial donation. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.